Hello everyone, welcome to Get My Class. Today we are going to solve this question which says in normal healthy females, menstruation takes place every 28 to 30 days. What can be the most possible reason for not continuing the cycle? Option A, maintenance of correct hormonal levels. Option B, rupturing of the Graafian follicles. Option C, retention of well-developed corpus luteum. Option D, fertilization of the ovum. Now let us look at the question. The question says the normal healthy females, the menstruation takes place every 28 to 30 days. 28 to 30 days. Okay. And what can be the most possible reason for not continuing the cycle? So why is this menstruation is not continuing the cycle? So what is the reason? So first of all, we have to understand what do you mean by menstruation cycle. Okay, this is the cycle where the release of the ovum occurs. Okay, this is the cycle during which the release of ovum occurs from the Graafian follicle. And where are these Graafian follicles? These are present within the ovaries. These are formed within the ovaries, right? Okay, and each Graafian follicle will produce or release only one ovum. So that is, once the ovum is released, if the ovum is not fertilized, then what happens? The endometrium, which is actually, the inner lining of the uterus, that will get shed. Okay. So in the absence of fertilization. So what happens? There is shedding of what? Of the endometrial layer. Endometrial lining of the uterus, you can say. Okay, so that gets shed off along with some lots amount of blood which comes from the rupturing of the blood vessels which are present in the endometrium. Okay, so the endometrial layer will get shed off and it will be excreted. This happens in the absence of fertilization. So the cycle will again continue, by the time the layers, everything gets shed off, the blood will be secreted out, okay, released out. Further, then what happens? Again, the body prepares for itself for the second round of the menstrual cycle. Okay, this happens every month in case of the female, because in case of human, or you can say in case of primates, in fact, all primates follow menstrual cycle or menstruation cycle. Okay. So this what happens, as I told you, they follow menstrual cycle because every month they produce ovum. Okay, and this will continue until and unless there is fertilization of the ovum, and the ovum will further get converted into zygote. Zygote will develop into embryo. Embryo will develop into the baby, and baby has to be given birth. Okay, so once the egg get fertilized, the menstruation cycle stops. Only after the delivery of the baby, again it will restart. Okay, and let us see. Now the question says in normal females, menstruation takes place every 28 to 30 days. What can be the most possible reason for not continuing the cycle? So in this case, if there is fertilization, the cycle will not continue. So in case of fertilization cycle will not continue. That is, the menstruation cycle will not continue. Okay, so that you have to remember. So let us see. Option A is maintenance of correct hormonal level. So if the correct hormone levels are maintained, so of course, there is no point that it will not continue. So that is not the reason for not continuing the female menstruation. Hence, it is good. Option B says rupturing of Graafian follicle. So what do you mean by rupturing of Graafian follicle? This is nothing but the process by which the ovulation occurs. Okay, ovulation. So what do you mean by ovulation? Ovulation is the release of the ovum from the Graafian follicle. Okay, so this doesn't mean that menstruation will not continue. Okay, hence it is ruled out. Option C says retention of well-developed corpus luteum. Corpus luteum is formed after the rupturing of the Graafian follicle. So once the Graafian follicle ruptures and release ovum, then it will get converted to corpus luteum. And the corpus luteum is the one which will produce progesterone, so as to improve the development of the endometrium, so that if there is fertilization, then the ovum can be easily embedded into the or you can say, yeah, it you can embedded once if it is fertilized, it can embed it into the endometrial layer. But then this again, development of corpus luteum occurs every cycle. So that doesn't mean that the cycle will not continue, hence it is over. So the correct answer is fertilization of the ovum, because once the ovum gets fertilized, the menstrual cycle will stop there. It will not continue until and unless the baby comes out of the body. Hence option B should be the correct answer. So let us conclude the answer. So what is the answer? The answer is option D. That is fertilization of the ovum. I hope you understood the explanation. Thank you, everyone.